So yes, we are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about, can Valtteri Bottas become an F1 champion? So today we're going to be basically talking about my opinion on can Bottas become an F1 champion. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, please like and subscribe, it would mean a lot. And if you enjoy this kind of content with the racing in the background, I'm not really sure about it, but I kind of like just putting the racing in the background so there's something to watch instead of my boring ass voice just talking. But yeah, if you guys got any improvements for it, or you think there's something better I can do, of course just leave it in the comments, much appreciated. And if you just want to call me shit in the comments, cool, you do you. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So anyway, let's answer the question first. Can Bottas become a world champion? Do I think he can? No, he cannot. He cannot become a world champion, and I'll explain why in a minute. But before, let's get into a little bit of a background of the man himself, Bottas. And I'm just going to talk about his days in F1, you know, nothing before that, just his days in F1 and how he came into the sport. So he came into the sport, as some of you might remember, in 2013 at Williams, and he got off to a rocky start. He finished 17th in the championship in his debut season, and it wasn't the best, let's say. But after that, he became quite good. And now I know what you're thinking, Williams, good? Yes, back in ancient times in 2014, Williams were actually okay. And in his 2014 season, he got 6 podiums, which is actually amazing, to be fair, in the second season. And I'm not gonna lie, he finished 4th in the championship, so that is very good as well. So see, as you can see, Williams were quite good before, you know, they're shit now. But yeah, so he finished 4th, which is great, and from there he had 2 more years of relative success, and then he joined Mercedes following the departure of Nico Rosberg. And to be fair, he was a great addition to the team, and from then he did win 8 overall races, you know, to this day. And yeah, I mean, he's been a great second driver. So you might be thinking, wow, you just licked his arse out. So how can he not be the world champion? I mean, he's shown that he's got wins. He's in the Mercedes, which is the fastest car by a country fucking mile. And he's got podiums, as is seen in the Williams days. So why can he not become champion, you might be asking? And well, there's one reason. Or when I say reason, there's one man. And his name is Lewis Hamilton. So it would not be controversial to say that Lewis Hamilton is probably one of the best all-time racing drivers, and I mean, by the time he retires, I think he will be the best. He's a little bit behind Schumacher now, but he will be the best when he retires, and he's also in the best car right now by a country mile. He's in the best car. I mean, he doesn't even have to try with that Mercedes to win races. He can literally sleep half the time and still beat lickers to TV. That's a repeat of a joke, as you would know. And he just doesn't show any signs of slowing down anytime soon as well. He's in his 30s, but he just does not look like he's lost his step since he was 20. So I still think he's got so much more to go in his career. And on his day, he's just completely unbeatable. I mean, there's no one, I think, in the grid that can beat him. Not even Max Verstappen or someone like that. On his day, like, he's definitely the best. And he can always get that little bit extra from the car, in my opinion, that Valtteri Bottas just cannot. I mean, when he's needed to, he can just bring that car to, you know, just winning races, to be fair, which Valtteri Bottas cannot do. And so to start off this next bit, I would like to list some categories that we can compare both drivers to further show that Bottas cannot win a championship with Lewis Hamilton there. So the first category we're going to go to is pace, so speed alone. So this is more like qualifying, how fast they are in the car. And I mean, from 2017 to 2020, so the times that Bottas and Hamilton were teammates, Bottas has a respectable 12 pole positions, while Lewis Hamilton has 29 pole positions. And I mean, he just beats Bottas in terms of pace, just sheer pace alone. I mean, he's just so fast in that car. And to be fair, if you wanted to see kind of how dominant Lewis Hamilton is, in 2017 alone, the man had 11 pole positions, so he nearly equates like Bottas' whole 12 pole positions in one season. Bottas has 3 seasons to get 12. So I mean, it just shows that Lewis Hamilton is just so much better in that car, and Bottas just can't really compete. He is fast, don't get me wrong. He's probably, you know, the second fastest in that Mercedes, of course. You'd be worried if it wasn't. But I mean, right now, yeah, he's just nowhere near Hamilton in terms of speed. The second category I want to go to is race pace. So now you can even see that Lewis Hamilton time and time again shows that when it comes to races, he just performs. He's just in that mindset and he's just done. Whilst Bottas, I mean, I don't know, he is good in races, as you can see, but he's always lacking something. He's always lacking just like the final product. He gets everything right, and if he has a clear race, he's fine, of course. But if he doesn't, and there's people getting in his way and stuff like that, he just cannot handle it. And especially in the weather conditions, I think Hamilton has such an advantage in like the weather, like wet races, because he's just a better driver in those kind of conditions. So I just think race pace wise, Lewis Hamilton has that again over Bottas. So this links into the second category here, and we're going to talk about overtaking and like driving basically in terms of defending and stuff like that as well. And overtaking wise, there is no question that Hamilton is so much better. I mean, there's so many times in races where I just see Bottas cannot get past people that he should be able to get past in his Mercedes. Even people like Max Verstappen. I mean, Bottas has such a hard time to get past people, and I just don't think he really has that sense of, you know, when to overtake, when to go for the move, in terms of comparing him to Hamilton. And I mean, I just don't think he can. And defending wise, I don't know, he's okay at defending, but again, I just don't think he's just got that a thing over Hamilton. If anything, they're equal in defending, but overtaking wise, Hamilton takes the cake any single day of the week. Now I can mention loads of more categories here, but basically to round it up short, Lewis Hamilton beats Bottas in basically every single one. I mean, there's some that you can maybe argue that Lewis Hamilton can equal Bottas in terms of maybe defending. I don't think they're both very good at it, and maybe tyre wear as well. Lewis always has problems with tyres, as we all know. The left rear is always gone. But basically, I just don't think Bottas can really beat him in any single category, in my opinion. And to be fair, I know what this is sounding like. I'm bum licking Lewis Hamilton. I love him. I'd let him bend me over, basically. But no, it's really not. It's just, in terms of Bottas, Lewis Hamilton is a man that he cannot surpass, and he's just too good, basically. And I don't even like Lewis Hamilton, which you might be like, yeah, sure, go on. But I don't even like Lewis Hamilton personally. I think he's too dominant, and he's just I literally hate him because he's that good. That's the reason I hate him, and I just don't think Bottas can compete. I mean, it makes me really sad that Bottas is the only man that can be able to compete, if you know what I mean, even though I just basically contradicted myself there. And when I say that, is that whoever's in the second driver of the Mercedes is the only person that can compete with Lewis Hamilton. And if it was someone like Vettel, someone like Max Verstappen, Leclerc, someone better, then maybe they would put up more of a fight. But right now, Hamilton's definitely going to win the 7th, and Bottas cannot compete. He just cannot. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer to this video, basically, that this might look like I hate Bottas. This might look like I'm calling him a shit driver, but he's not a shit driver. He's a very good one, and he's actually one of the best in the grid. But compared to the man Lewis Hamilton, he just cannot do it. And maybe if Lewis Hamilton retires, which I don't think he can, Bottas might have a chance. But even then, I'm not sure. But basically, I'm not saying that Bottas is a bad driver. Just in terms of winning championships, I don't see him in that driver caliber, you know what I mean? I don't see him as a Max Verstappen type who can get anything out of a car, like a Red Bull, that's just really shit. But like, I just don't see him being able to really win any championship. I don't think he has the pace, the qualifying, the in race overtaking. He's got no skills that I think can really stand him out and help him. And with that 99 awareness, let's not take the piss here, Codemasters. He does not have 99 awareness. He didn't even use DRS in one of the qualifyings, which we've seen. But basically, I'm not trying to say that Bottas is a bad driver by any means. He's very good, but he cannot compete with one man, and that's Lewis Hamilton. And I don't know. I don't think he'll ever be able to. And you might be thinking, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I don't think so. And this season it will show again. I think will prove my point that he really cannot. He had a great start in Austria with Lewis Hamilton finishing 4th or 5th. Since then, Lewis Hamilton's overtaken him again and is just winning the title now. So you can kind of see that it's just too far for him, and I don't think he can be able to do it. Also, I do want to say that I did do a poll actually on my Instagram, which is honest_KAF1, which I will put in the link below. And it's basically, I did a poll that's saying, do you guys think that Bottas can become an F1 champion? And actually, I'm very interested to find that 64% of people actually said yes. So 64% of people actually did think that he can, and 36% said no. So that's really interesting to me. So a lot of people think that he can become a world champion, but I don't know. I would disagree with that poll. I would disagree. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It was really fun to make. I like kind of making these videos where I do commentate and do talk about F1 topics like this. So if you do enjoy, like and subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one.